This is the Bandai WonderSwan, which was released in 1999 in Japan and never made it to the West. It's a handheld game console that has a rather large software library, considering it's somewhat obscure to the Western audience. It plays game cartridges like this, that's Klonoa, installed in there from Namco. Let's take a look at the game cartridge itself, which is more like a game pack. You can see that it's transparent. You can check out the working innards of the WonderSwan game. The WonderSwan is powered by a single AA battery. And in terms of performance, is probably most comparable to the Neo Geo Pocket. Although this is the Neo Geo Pocket Color, and the WonderSwan is just black and white, like the Neo Geo Pocket. The later releases of the WonderSwan were color, the WonderSwan Color, and then the Swan Crystal for its swan song. There's the speaker for the WonderSwan, some buttons, and one of the things that makes this game console unique is that you could play it like this, or like this. Let's fire this thing up and see how it looks. The screen is not backlit, but it's relatively easy to see. There's Klonoa. Let's start this thing up. And since most of these games, in fact all of these games, were released for Japan, you're not going to find many with English versions. Here's the contrast setting for the WonderSwan. And this is how you adjust the sound. Off, loud, or medium. Screen quality is pretty good, as you can see. Decent motion. Many of the games for the WonderSwan are anime based, and you won't find them readily available in the West. Sure. Okay, let's do that. For those who enjoy Japanese-style games, really Japanese-style games, the WonderSwan is a cool handheld to collect for. It's not that expensive. Even in the West, you can buy them on eBay fairly easily. Let's just start the game. Here's the power switch for when you start a game that you can't play because of the language barrier. Oh, let's go. No, that's not going to work. Damn it. At least I can play baseball without a language barrier. Yeah, apparently not. Come on! The WonderSwan is a good bit smaller and lighter than the Neo Geo Pocket Color, as you can see. And this is the Swan Crystal, the color version, which I will review separately. These were all donated to the show by our good friend Mohammed in Qatar, along with a bunch of Klonoa games. He's a huge Klonoa fan, so we'll be looking at that on the WonderSwan and some other game consoles. If you're looking for quirky games that you won't find elsewhere, you're looking for a WonderSwan. There's even some Final Fantasy games on this thing. But if you're playing games on the go, on the bus, on the train, on the way to school, especially in the West, odds are you'll be the only person you know that has one. It's the Bandai WonderSwan, with a huge library of games that you can find easily on eBay. Be prepared to pay for shipping. So, of course, a huge thank you once again to our friend Mohammed in Qatar, MAJ2K2, for donating the Bandai WonderSwan and game library. Let's do that. Okay. What do you do here? Let's see. This is where an English version would be really helpful. For me, at least. Very confused. Don't understand. Okay, back to Klonoa, because that game is actually quite good. And easy to play without having to understand the language. Because you just jump, and it's actually a lot like Kirby. Throw things. Decent screen. This thing's not bad.